The on-balance volume indicator flashed a buy signal right here, just before the massive Bitcoin move towards the upside. However, most traders missed this signal. But in this video, you will learn everything you need to know about the on-balance volume indicator so you can spot signals like this and as a result, make money. But alright, so before we can start finding signals like I showed you in the intro, we first need to know what is the indicator and how does the indicator work. I am a big believer that in order to use indicators, you need to at least understand the basics. You don't need to know everything, all the technical things about the indicator, but you need to understand it on a basic level. So let's begin here by answering the question, what is the on-balance volume, or for short, OBV? Well, the on-balance volume is a volume-based indicator that basically adds volume on updates and subtracts it on down days. And here, and this is very important, it creates a cumulative line that rises or falls with buying or selling pressure. So the exact value of the line is actually not that important. If you compare it with other indicators like the RSI, for example, with the RSI indicator, the exact value of the line is important, but for the on-balance volume, it's much more important the direction of the line. But here, the goal is to show whether money is flowing into or out of an asset. And this asset can be cryptocurrency, forex, stocks, you name it. And here, even before the price reacts. And this is how we found the earlier signal, and I will talk about that later. But right, so now then, we of course also need to understand the basics of how the on-balance volume works. And to begin here, if today's close is higher than yesterday, so if today's candle closes higher than yesterday, it adds today's volume to the on-balance volume indicator. But if today's close is lower than yesterday, it subtracts today's volume. And if the close is unchanged, it's very, this happens very seldom, but sometimes the close can be unchanged. Then the on-balance volume would stay completely flat. And here, I already mentioned this, but it's worth repeating. It's the direction of the on-balance volume line that matters, not the actual number. And this is something I want you to have in mind throughout the rest of the guide. But alright, so now let's take a look at some key use cases of the on-balance volume. And the first use case is to use it for trend confirmation. So when you have the price going up and you have the on-balance volume rising, it suggests that we have a strong uptrend. Why? Well, because the volume supports the price. This is actually how I think about volume in general, that if we have a strong candle and we have lots of volume, it means that many market participants are supporting the move, which makes the move even more significant. And guys, if you want to learn more about volume in general, I highly recommend that. I actually do have a full course on volume, and I will make sure to link that video both in the video card and the description. So you can definitely check that one out later. But here, if the price is falling and the on-balance volume is falling, this suggests a strong downward trend, right? Because volume confirms the weakness. And here, it's not one easy sort of trap or a faulty way of thinking is that the volume, if the volume decreases in downtrend, that is bearish. No, we need increasing volume in downtrend in order for it to be bearish. And here, last but not least, if the price moves but the on-balance volume doesn't move, the trend might be weak or fake. And now I want to take this concept to the next level. So let's continue the presentation here and talk about divergences. So now let's talk about the divergence strategy. And what is this? Well, a bullish divergence is when the price makes lower lows, but the on-balance volume makes higher lows. And remember what this means. This basically means that buyers are stepping in, or more specifically, that buyers are stepping in on up days while we are seeing, lower volume on down days. And the opposite of bullish divergence is, no surprise, bearish divergence. This is when price makes higher highs, but the unbalanced volume makes lower highs, which suggests that the buying pressure is fading. And we do have some more divergence types as well, but these are the two main types we're going to talk about in this video. If you want to learn more about divergences, I actually highly suggest to either watch my full MACD trading course. I'll make sure to link that video both in the video card and down below. Or if you prefer the RSI indicator, I have a full course about the RSI as well, and I will make sure to link it in the video card and the description. But here, divergences often lead to trend reversals, especially when they are near a key support or resistance level. And this leads to the signal we talked about in the intro. All right, so now let's switch the attention and jump into TradingView. We are currently looking at Bitcoin here, and we are looking at the daily time frame. But as for most indicators, you can use this indicator on pretty much all time frames and pretty much all asset types. One thing I can mention, however, is that the volume works a little bit different in the Forex market. So I would probably say that this indicator is a little bit better used in the stock market and crypto market, but you can also use it for Forex. But now, first of all, how do we open the indicator in TradingView? Well, to open it up, you go up here to the Indicators tab, and then you search for On Balance Volume. And as you can see here, we have a pre-made indicator built here by TradingView, and you also have tons of community built indicators. I'm pretty sure that the pre-made indicator here is available for the TradingView free plan, but some, community made indicators and some other indicators in TradingView are not available on the free plan. But luckily, I actually do have a special link to TradingView. You can use that link to try out TradingView Premium for free for 30 days. And if you, after the trial, decide that you want to upgrade, you will get a $15 bonus. This link will be both in the description below, so check out the description, and it will also be in the top comment of this video. But now, let's open up the On Balance Volume. Next, I do want to change a few settings. Mostly here for just for visual. I'm gonna make the line a bit bigger. Let's make it purple as well. We do have some more advanced settings, but I do think we won't really have time to go too deep into the advanced settings in this video. But I will definitely make sure to release some more advanced settings to our YouTube channel members. If you didn't know, I'm just going to give a big shout out. We do have a community right here on YouTube where I share more advanced strategies, and you will be able to get access to, presentations, some exclusive videos, even some trading tools. So check that one out if you want to by clicking join down below. But now let's take a look at the price action right here, because remember what we talked about earlier. First of all, we can just mention, as I said, that when we have a move towards the upside, we preferably want the unbalanced volume to go in the same direction. For example, right here for Bitcoin, we saw a very strong move towards the upside, and we also saw the unbalanced volume going in the same direction. However, you can notice right here, the price was still going upright, but the unbalanced volume was going more flat. And remember what we talked about earlier, when we see this can actually be a slight warning sign that the trend might be weakening. But most importantly, remember what we talked about recently. We talked about divergence. This is where the price goes in one direction, the indicator goes in the other direction, and it indicates a potential reversal. And look right here. The price printed one low right here around March, then we printed another low just like 1 month later. So we have a clear low and then a lower low. But if you look on the unbalanced volume, you can see that we have one low and then a higher low. So the price prints lower lows, the indicator prints higher lows, This right here is a bullish divergence and indicates a reversal to the upside. So this right here is a bullish signal flashing on the on-balance volume. But what we also can actually do is that we can zoom out a bit here, because remember what I said, that if this signal comes at an important market structure level, it can become even more significant. And if we look here, you can actually see that we had a very clear sort of resistance zone right here. You can see the price, we saw resistance, 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, multiple times. We saw selling pressure coming in right here for Bitcoin. But if we extend this level, you can see that we broke this level, of course, right here. But then we went down and tested this previous resistance, right, as support. And we also saw this divergence signal. So we actually had 2 bullish signals happening at the same time. We can even combine this with price action. You can, for example, see that we saw a bullish engulfing pattern right here. But this is very important. In order to use the on-balance volume more effectively, I highly recommend to combine it with price action and market structure. So I will make sure to link my full market structure trading course right here. It will be in the video card and the description. And I will also make sure to link my full price action trading course in the video card and the description. These courses are pretty long, so you don't feel stressed to go through them. Go through them in your own pace. I'm a big believer in, if you want to really learn something, it's good to be able to do that in your own pace. But I do highly recommend them. But alright guys, so this video is getting a bit long. I do have some more, advanced on-balance volume concepts that I do want to cover. But I'm not really sure the sort of regular YouTube audience is interested in diving deep into advanced concepts. So I tend to save these for our YouTube channel members. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, we do have a community here on YouTube. I share presentations like right here. I tend to share material that are a little bit more advanced and that would get less views and attention, but still very important stuff. So for example, this presentation will be available for all gold and diamond members. If you want to join, I would love to have you there. Just click join down below. But all right, so in order to use the on-balance volume effectively, I highly recommend to learn about market structure. So if you have the time, I highly recommend to check out this course next. You just click or tap on the screen right here.